chosen people, we must turn back to these laws, statutes, and commandments in these last days. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are God's chosen people. So we all teach the same thing. You know, trying to wake our people up, man. Get them out of darkness, man. But once America is done, man. Yeah, America's finished, man. That's why they found your boy not guilty today, man.
Guilty.
Found him. They found him guilty.
Yeah, found the police officers.
It's no, we know that, but to keep the city from being, you know.
You gonna pay anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's right, King.
That blood been shot with it. That ain't it.
That
ain't
right.
Yeah, the Most High gonna definitely judge this place.
That's a bone. That's a bone. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make a little soup bowl. You know what I'm
You
saying?
already know.
That ain't it.
You already know.
That ain't it. They know what time it is, man.
But that's how it is, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've been oppressed for so long. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
deal with it.
At the end of the day, well, we got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. That's really what's killing us, man. Is that, you know, because they've given us a little bone, like you just said.
Yeah.
They let us now get cars. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They give us a little cars.
Yeah.
They give us a little crib now.
When that stimmy gone,
get a little stimmy. Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, when that stimmy gone,
hey.
Boy, it's gonna be bloodshed. It already is. We all hungry.
Hey, look, cause see, a lot of people think that because you know we're able to get things like, oh yeah, we good. Hey, give me the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. See, because a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, just because we've got an opportunity to, you know, get a little bit, you know, get a house, get a little car, a little Beamer, little Lex, you know what I'm saying, a little Lack, that don't mean nothing.
The pacifier.
You know what I'm saying? Why be satisfied with that when the Most High made all this for our sake? Yeah. He made all this for our sake, but yet we want to be happy with our oppressor giving us what they say. Hey, go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8.
Watch this.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
No, we free.
We are yet this day in our captivity.
No, I got a crib, so I'm good.
We are yet this day in our captivity.
See, we are yet this day in our captivity. Go ahead, King.
Where thou hast scattered us.
Where thou hast scattered us, because who's been scattered across the whole world? We have, right, brother? We've been scattered across the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkled everywhere. Go ahead, King.
For a reproach.
For what?
A reproach.
For a reproach. Go ahead, King.
And a curse.
For a what?
And a curse.
For a curse. But see, everybody keep thinking, oh yeah, well, they captured us and took us into slavery, but the Most High said we were scattered for what?
And a curse.
For a curse. Go ahead, King.
And to be subject to payments.
See, no, I own my crib.
And to be subject to payments.
No, I own my whip, man.
Payments.
Tio. Because when you sit up here and you sit up here and give a, look, man, what's the penalty? When you get pulled up, what's it? That's a fine?
Mm-hmm.
Who that affect?
Us.
The poor.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Subject to payments.
What's the penalty to the rich? Nothing.
Right.
Motherfucker, I sit up here, boy, I get knocked over my side of my head, 250 pounds, I gotta get out. I gotta take care of my kids. All right, rich man, $250, what the fuck is that?
Nothing.
Come on, man, I'm getting with y'all.
Nothing. All praise, King. And go ahead and finish that off a little bit, King.
And to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers.
See, we're in this condition because of our fathers, man. It wasn't what we did. Our fathers sinned in the wilderness. Go ahead, King.
Was departed from the Lord our God.
Was departed from everybody, God.
From the Lord our God.
Everybody, God, right?
From the Lord our God.
See, it said the Lord our God. Go ahead, King.
Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
He said, for everybody or for Israel?
Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
See, so Israel, we're talking to the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans, man. Give ear to this law, man. The Most High have called us back to our law, statutes, and commandments. See, so we got to come back to our law, statutes, and commandments, y'all. All right, all praises, man, all praises.
You just go with it. Just go with it. All praises.
All praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Masiach. Who are we? We are the Hebrew Israelites. Yahweh is what the world ignorantly knows as God.
That's right.
Yahweh Shai Masiach is what the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And we come to wake our people up in these last days. We come to bring our people back to their heritage, because the world have told you that you're black, that you're Native American, that you're a wetback, that you're all these abominable things, rich, poor, all these other different names. But we have to come back to what the Most High called us. You got a precept, King?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
In the what
In
days?
the last days.
In the last days. Go ahead, King.
Gather yourself together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
To who?
Israel your father.
See, because like any good parent, you know, on their last days, they ask their children, hey, gather around me so I can let you know what will happen to you in the last days. Because any good parent wants to see their children be successful. But what parent wants to see their children more successful than being successful with the Most High? So see, he set his kids down and told them that we are the children of the promise.
That's right.
That we are the children that the Most High is going to give the law, statutes, and commandments to, that he looks up and put us and sets us high above everyone in the world. So in the last days, he was teaching his children that. So we're waking our people up and letting them know to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Not the whole world, you know, according to what the wicked Pharisees of these churches tell you. But this is what the Most High God, our power, which is known as Yahweh. That's what he's told the so-called Black, Native American, and Latino descent.
That's right.
You got another precept, King? And can you read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1? Because see, throughout this whole Bible, the Most High, no matter what chapter you go in, no matter what verse you go into, there is always a speaker, which is normally the prophet, and then there's an audience, which is always Israel. So you have to keep that in context. So when you're reading these scriptures, it's not to everybody in the world. The Most High have chosen a special, specific group of people. So go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
To everybody in the world.
Unto all Israel.
Sure, ain't say everybody in the world.
Unto all Israel.
These are the words that Moses spake unto all of Israel. Go ahead, King.
On this side of Jordan in the wilderness.
So on this side of Jordan. So see, this is the account when Moses had brought the Israelites out of Egypt. So right before they went through the sea and departed in the Most High part of the sea, see, he was speaking to Israel. He was letting them know what thus saith the Most High. Go ahead, King.
In the plain over against the Red Sea.
See, so that right there is just a little account to let you know that when Moses was delivering, when the Most High was delivering the Israelites through the hands of Moses, that he actually was only delivering Israel, which is the so-called Black, Native American, and Latino descent. He wasn't talking and speaking to everybody after they got and he went up into the mount and got the commandments. He was only speaking to Israel. You got another precept, King?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
With everybody in the world.
With the children of Israel.
Sure it just said Israel?
With the children of Israel.
See, just with the children of Israel. Go ahead, King. Was that it? See, so throughout this Bible, everybody has preached false doctrines saying that the Bible is for everybody, that the Most High loved the world, and all these different things, but the Most High only chose one specific group of people. Go ahead, King.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel.
Unto all the world.
Unto all Israel.
Unto Esau.
Unto all Israel.
Unto all of Israel. Go ahead, King.
That's it.
See, so once again, you know, Moses went and spake unto all of Israel. You're just going to continue to hear this over and over again. Can you give me chapter 3, verse 1 and 2? See, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you who the Most High loves, because see, although the Most High made everything in the world and everyone in the world and every family in the world, let's see what family the Most High loves. Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
O children of everybody.
O children of Israel.
Sure it's the children of Israel?
O children of Israel.
See another account. Go ahead, King.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all families of the earth.
Of all what?
Of all families of the earth.
See, of all the families of the earth, Israel, the Most High only knows you. You so-called Black, Native Americans, and Latino descent. Go ahead, King.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
And see, and that's the reason why we're cursed in the city. That's why we go through the things we go through. Because the Most High is punishing only us. Because we forgot his law. We forgot his statutes. We forgot his commandments, man. So the Most High is punishing for us, man. You got a precept? Can you bring a book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 26 through 28? See, so You know, we got to figure out in these last days, why is the Most High doing the things that he's doing to us? Why do we get the knee to the neck? Why do we get shot? Why do we get put out of the cars? Why do we get done to the things that are done to us as a nation, but yet we have no understanding of why it's happening? But yet all we want to do is march. We want to tell people that it's not fair. We want to say it's not right. But the Most High is deeming all of this, so we need to find out what happened to cause these things to happen to us, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God.
We had to do what?
Obey the commandments of the Lord your God.
See, you know how you see how he used a possessive noun? The Lord God, the Lord your God. Go ahead, King.
Which I command you this day, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which you have not known.
Which you have what?
Well, you have not known.
See, because all these other gods, when you go to Christianity, when you go to Catholicism, see what I'm saying? When you go to Protestant, when you go to all these different religions, man, these are gods that our forefathers did not know anything about. But yet, we've come over here, and because Most High took our heritage away, we begin to follow the heathens. So now that's why you've gotten yourself into religions. That's why you've got yourself into all these different false doctrines, and we went away from the way of the Bible. Because see, the Bible was only made with one particular group of people, and that was the so-called Black, Native American, Latino descent. But see, the world have told us that this doctrine is for everybody, that the Most High is for everybody. But in this Bible, he only speaks about the Israelites. So in these last days, we have to come back to our nationality and find out who are the Israelites in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to find out who are the so-called white men in the Bible, who are the so-called Moab, Chinese men, Japanese men in the Bible. Because the Most High didn't call us these names, the world did. Go ahead, King. What I said? Go ahead, bring up. Read through 28.
28, okay, go on.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it. Go ahead, bring your precept out, King.
No, I ain't got no.
So we need to find out, how did we get this curse? Because see, he would have gave us a blessing if we'd have kept the law, statutes, and commandments. But because we are a stiff-necked group of people, we don't like to listen to instruction. The Most High stripped us of our blessing. The Most High took our eternal life from us. The Most High took our covering from us. He took our protection from us, which is the Father. I mean, the Most High took his protection and his everything from us. And now that's why we're in the Lord's living condition. That's why we have our oppressor over us, which is actually the weakest of all men. That's why we're going through this thing. So we need to come back to our law, statutes, and commandments. Can you go to the book of Ecclesiastes 33? Oh, I'm sorry, Deuteronomy 30, 1 to 3. So we need to find out, what do we have to do to get out of this low state and come back to the law, statutes, come back to the Most High, so we can have the services of the Father. See, because everybody say they love the Most High. Everybody say, oh, I love God. Oh, I'll do anything for God. But there's only one way to show his love, though. But we need to find out, how can we turn back to his love? Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse.
The blessing and the curse, what we were just talking about. See, because we had the blessing, but because we left the law, statutes, and commandments, now we're living in the curse. Now we're living in the lowest living conditions in this country, in this world, Shalaki. Now we're going through the worst things. We're getting beat by the police. We're getting the knee in the neck. We're getting killed. We're getting our young children shot. Go ahead, King.
Which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind, Salaki, and thou shalt call them to mind among all nations. Among all the nations.
Among all the nations, because see, the so-called Black, Native American, and Latino descent, we're scattered across the whole world, man. We're not just in America. We're not just in the 50 states. We're scattered everywhere. Go ahead, King.
Whither the Lord thy God has driven thee.
See, the Lord thy God driven us. See, everybody think that the white man went and came and took us and enslaved us. But the Lord thy God took took us and scattered us. Go ahead, King.
And shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart.
Thou and who?
Thou and thy children with all thine heart.
See, because we got to return back to the Father and teach our children and come back with all thy heart, which is all thy mind. Go ahead, King.
And with all thy soul.
And with all thy soul, go ahead.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God has scattered thee.
See, because he said over and over again that the Lord thy God scattered thee. See, I know that we've all been taught in school, we've all been taught in programs that, oh, we've been captured and took into slavery, but the Most High scattered us. He just said it twice in that passage. So see, how do we get out of this bondage? How do we get out of this situation? See, he said we had to return back to his voice, because his sheep hears his voice. And his voice is the law, statutes, and commandments. Because see, we're the only nation that was given a law, statute, and a commandment. See, no other nation was given any great laws. No nation was given a set of rules. No nation has a God. See, there's only one God, which is the creator of all. All the other nations have the gods that they've created. Their hands created it. See, so their God is nothing but just an idol. That's why the Most High says, have no idols, worship no idols, before thy God. Because see, when you worship an idol, you're worshiping something that's made by hands, man. So we need to turn back to our law, statute, commandments, everybody. So in these last days, we're trying to teach our people the law, statutes, and commandments. Because see, the Most High didn't give you, your own vain opinion. The Most High didn't say, oh, that the laws are done away with. The Most High said that we have a set of law, statutes, and commandments to follow. And based on our law, statutes, commandments is the reason why we would get away from all these abominable things that we're going through. We have a dietary law. We have a clothing law. We have all these different sets of rules. We have high holy days, not these abominable days that this world gives you. So we have to return back to those things. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 33, verse 3.
Bring it out.
A man of understanding trusteth in the law.
The man of understanding knows his own way.
Trusteth in the law.
You sure say that, King?
Trusteth in the law.
See, a man of understanding trusts in the law of the Most High. Go ahead, King.
And the law is faithful unto him as an oracle.
See, the law is faithful unto you as an oracle. Go ahead, King.
Prepare what to say, and so shall, Salaki, and so thou shalt be heard, and bind up instructions, and then make answer. The heart of the foolish is like a cartwheel, and his thoughts are like a rolling axle tree. A stallion horse is a mocking friend. He nigheth under everyone that sitteth upon him.
See, so he just letting you know, man, that if you just dealing with the world, man, a friend's only gonna do, what his evil self want to do and take you to those evil places, man. But you got to do the way of the most High, the Father, man. You got to do his way and his will, his law. Because our ways are nothing, man. But the light of the Father is everything. And because he's given us a law, statute, commandment, and we don't follow his law, statutes, and commandments, then that's why we find ourselves in the ways that we've been in this world, man. Because it's been lots of times in your life, if your life is anything like mine, where you thought your vain thoughts will get you somewhere. But then you find yourself in the thick of wrongdoing. You find yourself in the midst of evil. You find yourself in the midst of all these things, and you wonder why. It's because you haven't come back to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. See, because this world have told you the law, statutes, and commandments are done away with, but the Most High say over and over again in his book that you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Hispanic descent, and Native descent, that the laws are for us. The laws aren't for everybody. But I know the world has told you different, and that's why we're out here to teach our people. You got a precept here? So we're teaching our people to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 11. Because in the last days, we're teaching our people that, hey, the law is good, man. That the laws of the Most High is good. That there's nothing that you can't accomplish if you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. In doing so, the Most High will open this book up, and you will see the things that these so-called Pharisee pastors, take you one way, But then the Most High enlighten you and show you the proper way of how to break down this scripture, how to do precept upon precept, here, there, a little, there, a little. Go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction.
See, so he'll save you in your time of affliction, man. The things that we go through in this world, being at the lowest state, police officers, like I said, putting their knee in your throat, or the Most High be compassion, man. He'll give them a swift and quick judgment, just like you saw today. Go ahead, King.
Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth to ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended.
See, the Most High is not going to defend somebody that's sinful, man, and go his own way. If you double-minded, which means you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High is going to punish you. See, we have to follow the law, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent. We need to follow the laws of the Most High, because see, his law is good. Can you drop that and give me the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 21, verse 11? See, because I know over and over again, people think that the law, statutes, and commandments are done away with. But the Most High have given us law, statutes, and commandments to follow, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent. How y'all doing today now? And y'all believe in the Bible? And can I get like 10 seconds so I can show y'all what the Most High say? What nationality are y'all based on y'all fathers? So if you look at this chart right here, right? If this is the right-hand side, your left-hand side will be what the Most High called you in the Bible. And on your right-hand side will be what the world calls you. So if you look at this chart, do you see yourself on that chart? And what name would you be? What the world will call you? What, Cindy? Haitian? American Black? So see, you guys will be from the tribe of Judah, which is the Most High. And so we are here to teach the law, statutes, and commandments to our people, because through the doctrine of these churches, they've taught us that the laws are done away with, that the Most High loves everybody. But the Most High actually chose a specific group of people, and it was the Israelites. So the Most High is not coming to send his son back to save everybody. And so we're teaching the law, statutes, and commandments to our people and telling our people about their heritage, because the Most High only gave his heritage to a specific group of people. Yeah. And so we're going to show you guys a little bit out of the Bible to show you.
I already know. I don't say.
So you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So
it's like.
So watch this. Did you know that slavery was in the Bible?
Yeah.
You know slavery was in the Bible? You know where it's at? Watch this.
It was not in the beginning.
Hey, bro, read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Start with verse 1 real quick. Watch this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
so if you will listen to the Lord thy God, watch,
to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Equal to all nations on the earth.
Above all nations of the earth.
See, so this group of people right here, the Most High said that if we will hearken and listen to his law, statutes, and commandments, that he would set us on high above all nations, right? But then jump down to verse number 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
that all these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, yeah, so our curses are good. So what are the curses, a good thing or bad thing?
Statute and the curses over here there.
All right, go ahead. Go to verse number 16.
16. Curse shall that be in the city, and curse shall that be in the field.
So
what is it?
What group of people is cursed in the city? No. Who has the lowest abominable living conditions in the city?
Talking about. Let me hear that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm asking that question first, because there's some more curses I'm gonna get to. Yeah. But I'm saying though, who's cursed in the city though?
In due time, not due. What's his name? Pharaoh child to be established sins.
Yeah, that was actually
That's curses.
in Genesis when we were in bondage in Egypt. But I'm asking you though, so right now we're dealing with the Israelites and the curses, right? Because this curse only fit the Israelites, right? So in the city right now, who's cursed? When you go to different cities in the inner city, who has the lowest abominable living conditions?
I don't know. Who?
I'm asking you, do you know? Like who has the worst living conditions?
Him.
I'm asking you, so do you live in the inner city of this city?
Yeah.
So
Tell me.
who do you know live in the projects?
You know what?
I'm saying though, is it the so-called white man?
I mean, who? A poor slave.
No, I'm saying, yeah, who has the poorest living conditions, the lowest state?
I do. If I know, I do.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what nation of people though?
Like,
That's what I'm saying, all praises. Go ahead, King.
Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into another people, and thy eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
So who did this happen to? Who kids got took away from them and they couldn't do anything about it?
read the beginning of it.
That was the beginning. Verse number
No,
1 was the
read
beginning.
it and then to end. Read that to end.
We're reading curses. We asking you, ma'am, who fit these curses? It's the Bible. It's just the regular Bible that everybody else got.
We do.
That's what I'm saying. All praises. Give me 54 real quick.
Verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
No, he gonna love his brother.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom.
Who's so in the inner city?
Blue eyes
In the
Satan.
city, who's evil towards their brother?
Blue eyes Satan.
I'm talking about who's evil towards their brother. Have you ever heard white on white crime, or have you heard black on black crime?
Both from black man.
Black on black, right? You don't hear Chinese on Chinese crime, right? You don't hear Japanese on Japanese crime, right? So who fits that curse? Who's evil towards their brother? Who's evil towards their brother? Who kills their brother for a pair of shoes? Who kills their brother for their nice car, for a nice gold chain? Who does that? All praises. Go ahead, King.
And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Which he'll stay.
Which he shall leave.
Now, what nationality of people raises single parent families more than anybody?
Black.
All praises. Go ahead, King.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
The Lord who?
The Lord thy God.
See, thy, that's a possessive noun. So he's saying he's not the God of everybody. He's saying the Lord thy God. Go ahead,
To
King.
keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
No,
and
then we got a choice to do.
To keep his commandments and his statute which he commanded thee.
Because he commanded us to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, King.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
For a what?
For a sign.
See, so these are on the Israelites for a sign. No other group fits this curse but the Israelites.
Is that in like the follow Moses?
Yes, those are the same Israelites. See? So only that group of people, man.
And for a wonder.
For a sign and for a wonder. So let's just say, okay, if you go down there and you go to the overpass, right? And you see 440, that's a sign to let you know where the highway is, right?
Thought Moses standing there, right?
No, I'm just saying, like, if we're going over this overpass and you see 440, that's the sign to let you know where the highway is, right? So that's what he's saying, that these curses are on the Israelites for a sign. So you will know who the Israelites are.
Okay. If Moses was bringing the Israelites out of slavery with Harold, the man, the slaver, how was the slave?
No, see, this is a future prophecy. These are all future prophecies. See, this is the thing that when he came out, the Most High prophesied that all these things were going to happen to the Israelites in the latter days. Drop down and give me verse number 68. Watch this.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Okay, so hey, I got this is the last one. So the Most High said he'll bring you into Egypt again, right? So the Most High speaks in parables at times. So we're gonna see what he meant by Egypt, because right, that's what I'm saying, because there's only a one account in the Bible that we went to Egypt, right? So now we're gonna find out what Egypt means, right? Go ahead and bring that on Exodus chapter 20, verse 2.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So he brought them out of the house of Egypt, and Egypt is another name for
How
bondage.
he bring him out? With who?
Through Moses. But I'm just saying though, so Egypt is nothing but another word for
Yeah.
bondage or slavery. Watch, so we're gonna put that in place
Moses
Egypt.
brought them all out.
Right, watch this.
To the word of God.
Right, watch this. Watch this. Go ahead, King.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 68.
That's it.
And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
So who was brought over to a town, to a place on slavery with ships? Go ahead, King.
By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold.
So when we got over here, who was we sold to? Right? But let's see who the Most High called them.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
To your who?
Unto your enemies.
To your enemies. Go ahead, King.
For bondmen.
For slave men
and bondwomen.
and slave women.
And no man shall buy
So
you.
no man shall buy you. So hey, get on there, get some edification, check it out. And if y'all got any questions, our phone number and our email is on there. And we just waking our people up and let them know who they are. So if we ask you who you are, who would you say you would be? You are an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. All praises, sister.
All praises, sister.
Hey, all praises. You got it. Hey, all praises. Take care of your mama now.
All praises.
All praises. Man, all praises, King. Man, our people, man, they waking up, man. They waking up, King. One precept at a time now.
Mm-hmm.
All praises, King. 21.
Which one?
All praises, man. We love our people, man. Our people slowly waking up in these last days, man. Bring it out, King.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof.
He does what?
Getteth the understanding thereof.
See, because when you begin to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, the Most High will open this book up and give you understanding. Go ahead, King.
And the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom.
See, so in order to perfect this thing, though, you got to fear the Most High, man. Once you fear the Most High, man, you're going to start keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments. Because just like any other parent, anybody parent, if their parent told them, hey, you know what I'm saying, clean my house up or I'm going to whoop you, the fear of your parent will make sure that you do that chore. Go ahead, King.
He that is not wise will not be taught.
He that does what?
He that is not wise will not be taught.
See, because if you feel like you're not, if you feel like you're wise and you feel like you know everything, you ain't gonna want to listen to nobody, man. You ain't gonna want to get taught by nobody. You're gonna just feel like your vain opinion is what you need to know, and you're gonna continue to do what you gotta do. Go ahead, King.
But there is a wisdom which multiplieth bitterness.
Which multiply what?
Bitterness.
Go ahead.
The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life.
See, because if once you know this word, man, it's like a fountain of life, man. Once you know this word, man, you ain't gonna want to break them laws, statutes, commandments. You're gonna want to do what the Most High tells you to do, and it's a fountain of life, man. You're gonna drink from Yahweh, which is the word, man. He said that I'll give you a water that you will never thirst again, and a bread so you never hunger again, man. Go ahead, King.
Verse 14. The inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel.
A what?
Are like a broken vessel.
See, because a broken vessel can't hold anything, man. So once you're a fool, man, you ain't gonna be able to hold the law, statutes, and commandments. You're gonna do your own will. You're gonna do your own vain opinion. You're gonna feel like your strength is the strength all the strength you need, man. Go ahead, King.
And he will hold no knowledge.
And you will hold no knowledge, man. Because if you ain't keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, man, you're not gonna hold no knowledge. You're gonna think the knowledge of this world is everything. You're gonna begin to do the things that you feel is best. And then it means nothing to the Most High. Is that it on that, King?
As long as he liveth.
As long as you live, man. So you're gonna be living in vain. Your life is gonna be up but a handbreadth, man. Meaning nothing to the Most High. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. Unless you got to say. See, so we teaching our people to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. To come back to the Most High, your God. Because the word wasn't for everybody.
Proverbs what?
Chapter 9, verse 10. The word was only for the so-called black man, Native American, and Native and Latino descent. See, everybody thinks that, oh, the Most High sent his son for everybody. But the Most High never said that in the Bible. He only speaks of the Israelites.
That's right.
And the only way you can understand that is if you fear the Most High. Because then once you fear the Most High, you come back to his law, statutes, commandments. He'll begin to open his book up and give you the wisdom therein. Go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 9 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
No, your own vain opinion is the beginning of wisdom.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
No, if I listen to my pastor, he'd tell me all the wisdom.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Go ahead.
And the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
See, the knowledge of the holy is understanding, man. See, he sent the prophets, man, to teach. So when everybody says that the laws were done away with, Yahweh Shai said, I ain't come to fulfill the law. He said, I came to fulfill the law, fulfill everything that was in it, with the prophets and everything written of me. So when you come into this light, man, of the law, man, the law will give you wisdom and knowledge. So once you get that knowledge and wisdom, you're going to fear the Most High because that's your parent, man. You fear the Father because of all his judgments, man. The judgments that he gave us. That's why we have the worst abominable living conditions and the things we go through. You got some more like that? Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
The fear of the Lord prolongeth days.
Does what?
Prolongeth days.
What happened to George Floyd when he didn't keep the law?
Prolongeth days.
See, now, if you keep the law, man, the Most High will prolong your days, man. Because you ain't going to be amidst all that folly. You ain't going to be with the world. You ain't going to be trying to have fake $100 bills in your pocket. Going in the store trying to do a quick trick, right? You're going to do right by the Most High. Go ahead, King.
But the years of the wicked shall be shortened.
But the what?
The years of the wicked shall be shortened.
See, so when you out here hanging out, trying to play stick-up kid, right? Trying to hustle and slang on the corner. Because, see, we did all that, man. We did all that. It's going to shorten your days, man. Because you living wicked. You trying to kill your brother by serving him dope, right? Robbing your brother. You know what I'm saying? That ain't love to your brother. The Most High said we're supposed to love our brother, man. Go ahead, King.
The hope of the righteous shall be gladness.
The what?
The hope of the righteous shall be gladness.
See, because the hope of us who are righteous supposed to be glad in this thing, man. We supposed to be going out doing the things of the world, man. We supposed to be like a lamp on a hill set apart from the world, man. See, but yet we do the things of the world and wonder why things happen to us. Go ahead, King.
But the expectations of the wicked shall perish.
The what?
Shall perish.
See, the expectations of the wicked shall perish, man. Because when you're out here doing all this wickedness in the world, man, that's not the recipe for success, man. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments is the recipe for success. Go ahead, King.
The way of the Lord is strength.
The what?
The way of the Lord is strength.
See, the way of the Lord is strength, man. So if you're looking for your strength, you come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, King.
The way of the Lord is strength to the upright.
To the what?
To the upright.
To the upright. Go ahead, King.
But destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity.
To the who?
But destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity.
See, everybody think that the Most High, man, is all teddy bears and lollipops, man. Oh, he's all love. Well, what did he just say, King?
The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity.
So he's saying that if you are a worker of sin, which is iniquity, that destruction is coming your way, man. So I don't know where everybody keep thinking that the Most High is all lollipops and candy, man. Teddy bears and hugs. Like my brother said last week, man, the Build-A-Bear Foundation. I don't know where all this is coming from. Because the Most High said he's here to destroy the wicked. Go ahead, King.
The righteous shall never be removed.
The what?
The righteous shall never be removed.
Because see, if you're righteous, you're going to obtain eternal life, man. But if you're wicked, you're going to get that destruction. Go ahead, King.
But the wicked shall not inhabit the earth.
But the wicked shall what?
Shall not inhabit the earth.
See, because you're not going to inhabit the earth, man. People keep saying, oh, Satan does that. No, the Most High does that, man. He just said you will not inhabit the earth, man. See, so we need to come back to our law, statutes, and commandments, so-called Black, Native American, and Latino descent. The Most High have called us to be priests unto him, man, the oracles of his book. So we need to come out of sin, which is nothing but the transgression of the law, come back to his law, statutes, and commandments, and do this work. Because we're at the end of the world, beyond popular belief, man. This world is coming to a quick destruction, man. I don't know if y'all not watch the news or keep what's going on in times, But it's bombs in every country, man. Everybody in Iran is enriching uranium. They got Missile City over in China, over in those foreign countries. So I'm just letting y'all know, man, that, hey, this world is coming to an end, man. So we need to come back to our law, statutes, commandments, to our power, the Most High Yahweh, man. Repent and come back to his ways. You got a precept, King?
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Open rebuke is better than secret love.
What it is?
Open rebuke is better than secret love.
So if we tell our sisters that, hey, the commandments say that we ain't supposed to wear pants, that you only supposed to wear dresses, man. What did he say?
Open rebuke is better than secret love.
Go ahead.
Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
See? So an enemy will tell you, oh, it's okay for you to transgress the law. Oh, the law's done away with. So anybody tell you things like that, that's the enemy, man. Because they ain't here for your love. They ain't here for your success, man. Like he read in the beginning, man, when Jacob, which is AKA Israel, when he got his name changed to Israel, in his latter days of his life, before he passed, he set his children down and told them what before them in the end. Right? See, that's love, man. Tell you what the expectations of this world is. Like brother just said. Go ahead, King.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
He that then often reproved, hardening his neck.
Do what?
Hardening his neck.
Go ahead.
Shall suddenly be destroyed.
See? If you ain't listening to the law, statute, commandments, and the brothers try to tell you, hey, the Most High said you can't eat pork, lobster, shrimp, crab, right? But you just say, oh, man, I ain't listening to him. He don't know what he's talking about. The law's been done away with, man. What did the Most High say he's going to do?
He that been often reproved, hardening his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed.
You're going to be destroyed, man.
And that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
What do you say when Joe Biden does what?
When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Or what did you say when Donald Trump does what?
When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
See, now when the wicked are in office, man, the people mourn, man. Then that's when people say, oh, I want somebody else. And then out of haste, because you're not thinking clearly, because you just want that person out, you go get somebody even more wicked. See, these are the things that the Most High is talking about, man. Because we're only supposed to get somebody that's our brother and over us, man.
That's right.
So see, we got to come back to our law, statutes, commandments, because see, you wouldn't even know that was a commandment if you're not in this law book. See, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent, we got a set of rules, man. We got a playbook from the Most High that we had to honor. You got a precept, King? So we need to come back to our law, statutes, and commandments. Can you give the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7? See, because all we're doing is we're coming and we let our people know what are the law, statutes, and commandments of our people. See, he just read that, hey, you harden your neck, you will be destroyed. That's a commandment, man. You got to love reproof. If your brother tell you that you cutting up, man, and that you going off, like you need to correct that, man. Don't harden your heart. Just hearken and correct that thing. Go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
What is?
Wisdom is the principal thing.
So he's saying that wisdom is the principal thing, man. That all while you living in life, you should obtain wisdom, man. Go ahead, King.
Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
Because see, if you had all the knowledge and wisdom in the world, but you don't understand what you have obtained, what does it mean? It means nothing, man. So with all that wisdom, get understanding. Go ahead, King. Is that it? See, so we need to get this wisdom of the book, man. We need to get the wisdom of the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High have given us. Because we're walking around this world, a lot of us just trying to obtain what the world has, try to get the best, the nicest shoes, best clothes, nicest crib, best whip. But what does all that mean, man? Like the Most High said, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul, man? It doesn't profit anything, man. Give me Proverbs 13:13. See, so in these last days, man, we got to understand, man, that we got to love this thing, man. Because, you know, we are stiff-necked people. We don't like to be told what to do, man. But the Most High told us that we got to love this reproof.
That's right.
Go ahead, bring that out, King.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Whoso despised the word shall be destroyed.
No, the Most High love everybody, man.
Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed.
No, he said that he forgive everybody if you just ask for forgiveness.
Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed.
Go ahead.
But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded.
See, he keeps saying fear the Lord, fear the Lord, fear the commandment. Go ahead, King.
The law of the wise is a fountain of life.
The what?
The law of the wise is a fountain of life.
Go ahead.
To depart from it, snares of death.
Is the what?
To depart from the snares of death.
See, the Most High keep talking about death, man. See, you got to begin to get that wisdom, man. With all that getting, the principal thing, get understanding. Everybody keeps saying the Most High is all about love, but why do we keep saying that he will destroy you, man? Death and destruction for all those that don't keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, King.
Good understanding giveth favor.
What do?
Good understanding giveth favor.
See, good understanding give you favor, man. So get good understanding of these laws, statutes, and commandments. So-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent. Go ahead, King.
But the way of the transgressor is hard.
The what?
The way of the transgressor is hard.
It's hard. Go ahead, King.
Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge.
Go ahead.
But a fool layeth open his folly.
Do what?
But a fool layeth open his folly.
See, because if you're a fool, you're going to be folly, man. You'll go around, you're going to be sleeping with every woman, defiling all your sisters. You see what I'm saying? Then a lot of us don't even know that sex consummates marriage.
That's right.
So then once you get married and then you go have sex with somebody else, now you transgressing the law, which is adultery. See, so we got to get understanding of this book, man. You know what I'm saying? Marriage ain't going down to Esau's prison, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Esau's county building, and then going and getting a marriage certificate. That's not what the Most High deems marriage. But how would you know that if you don't get in our playbook in the last days? Because see, the Most High only gave this playbook to us, man. That's why you see all the other nationalities do all these abominable things. Because the Most High made them to be abominable.
That's right.
See, if you go into Genesis, the 25th, chapter 27, the Most High tells you that he gave Esau the sword. So see, he uses Esau, the so-called Edomites, which is a so-called white man, he uses them as a sword. So that's why every time you see them, they're always in war. They're always conquering. They're always going to other people's land, taking it over. Because that was what he was given. That was his blessing. That was Jacob and Esau. Esau's blessing was the sword and the fatness of the land. That's why they have the best living conditions. That's why they have the best of everything. Because the Most High gave that to them.
That's right.
See, but if you won't read the book, you won't know that. Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 38.
Bring it out.
And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
His dwelling shall be what?
Shall be the fatness of the earth.
See, that's why he got the best of everything, because his dwelling will be the fatness of the earth. Go ahead, King.
And of the dew of heavens from above. And by the sword shalt thou live.
And by the what?
And by the sword shalt thou live.
The modern day gun?
And by the sword shalt thou live.
See, because a sword is nothing but an instrument of death, man. So by the sword, the white man shall live. So see, that right there is the account of when the Most High had allowed Jacob to give Isaac to give Esau the blessing of the sword. Go ahead, King.
And shall serve thy brother.
And shall serve who?
Thy brother.
It shall serve thy brother. Go ahead, King.
And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
It shall break thy yoke off thy neck. Go ahead, King.
And Esau hated Jacob.
And Esau did what?
Hated Jacob.
And why does the white man hate the so-called blacks, Native American, Latino?
And Esau hated Jacob.
See, it's been a perpetual thing since the beginning of time, since Genesis. They have hated us. That's why we live in the worst abominable places, man. Your enemy's never gonna just give you everything, man. But see, they did a crafty thing. See, they split us up because they told you, or you're Hispanic, or you're Dominican, or you're Puerto Rican, or you're black, or you're Indian. But yeah, we're all the 12 tribes of Israel, man. We're all God's chosen people, man. Go ahead, King.
And Esau hated Jacob
Go ahead.
because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the day of mourning for my father are at hand. Salaki, are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
And what will he do with the so-called Native American, Latino, and blacks?
I will slay my brother Jacob.
And what did he do to brother George Floyd?
I will slay my brother Jacob.
And see, that's the reason why the so-called black, Native American, and Latino descent, that's why it's always killing. That's why we always get slaughtered, man. That's why we always get killed. Because our oppressor does that. The Most High made them to be that way. Go ahead, King. Is that it? I keep giving the book of Zephaniah, chapter 11, verse 5. See, we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you some things about what the Most High have done with them, because, see, they're his instrument of killing, man. See, the Most High didn't call everybody to be his chosen people. So we have to understand that in these last days, man. We understand that the Most High created everybody for a reason and everything for a purpose. And once you understand that, then you'll understand the Most High's ways and why he only called the chosen people to be his. Go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
What happened to George Floyd?
Who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Who happened to all them people up in Wisconsin?
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Go ahead.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not.
See, because all our people that's in so-called power, man, they don't pity for us, man. They don't care what happened to us. Police officer put their knee on our neck, so-called black, Native American, and Latino descent. Police do us wrong, shoot us up, put us in jail, right? And hold themselves not guilty. Or they might be in court. Like the brother today, George Floyd, they gave him 10, 15, 20 years, right? That's the sentence. But let's see how long they actually stay, man. Let's see if they get that pat on the wrist. Let's see if they get out on good behavior. Right? Because that's what always happens, man. It may be in the court just to calm us down. But yet then, next thing you know, they're out in general public, or they're on probation, time served, good behavior, right? But let that be one of us, man. Let that be one of the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native American descent. Let y'all go do that with one of their people, man. It'll be a whole nother matter, man. Got another precept? You can give me the book of Psalms 147:19. See, so we're going to find out who the Most High knows in this thing, man. Because I know all y'all pastors have told you that, oh, the Most High knows everybody. The Most High loves everybody. Well, let's find out who the Most High loves, man. Because the Most High only loves the so-called, the Most High only loves Israel, man. Not the so-called white man. Not Esau. Not the Moabites. Not the Isrealites. Not the Elamites. He don't love none of them, man. Go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
See, so he showed his word unto Jacob. Go ahead, King.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
See, once again, he showed his statutes and judgments only to Israel, man. Go ahead, King.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
No, he dealt so with all the nations.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
No, the Most High said he loves everybody, man.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
See, he ain't dealt so with any nation, man. Go ahead, King.
And as far as his judgments, they have not known them.
See, because nobody knows slavery, man. Nobody knows about the world's abominable living conditions in the hood, man. Only the Most High said only Israel knows that, man. They only know his judgments. Go ahead, King.
Praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Lord, because all praises that it's only us, man. Because if it wasn't just us, then he'd be dealing with everybody. Because as a parent, you can't go and whoop everybody's kids if your kid and then somebody else's kid was in the store stealing. No, you're going to go whoop your kid, man. So it's the same way with the Most High, man. We didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. So now we're getting the judgments of it based on what our forefathers did, man. Not everybody in the world. Everybody in the world ain't going to slavery. Everybody in the world ain't got the worst conditions in the hood. Everybody didn't have yokes of iron on their neck. See, so in these last days, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent, we need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. We need to come back to the God, the Most High, our power, man. Your piece of good?
Good job, man. Good job.
All praises, King. All praises.
I used to walk with Yahweh, ben Yahweh.
Hey, King. Hey, come on back home, man. Come on back home, King.
We used to do that 20 and 30 years ago in Miami. Keep it up, though.
Hey, all praises, King. You keeping your law, statutes, and commandments, King?
Yeah.
All praises, King.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Ben Yahweh in Miami, so that was like 20, 30 years ago.
All praises, King.
Y'all keep it up, man.
All praises, King.
All right.
Go ahead, King.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24.
Bring it up.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, he sent to the lost sheep of the world.
The house of Israel.
No, to everybody.
The house of Israel.
See, and you'll find that throughout the whole Bible, that the Most High said he is not sent but unto the lost sheep of Israel. So in these last days, you need to find out, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent. You need to find out who is Israel, man. Because you won't find Mexican, Puerto Rican. You won't find Colombian, Haitian, West Indian, Black, right? You won't find Argentina, Chile, Azteca. You won't find that in the Bible, man. But you'll find Israel. You'll find Israelites in the Bible. See, so you need to find out who are these Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And when you go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15, those curses will let you know that who the Israelites are, because those were the only ones that had those curses on them. Go ahead, bring that precept out, King.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
See, this is when Israel became a nation. Go ahead, King.
For as a prince has thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore it is thou, Salaki, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name?
See, so the Most High just changed Jacob and gave him the nation, man. That's how we became a nation of Israel. Because through his 12 sons were the nation of Israel created. The lineage of his children was the nation of Israel. And so the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent, you are the nation of Israel, man. So we're trying to let our people know that we need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, man, that the Bible speaks of. Not the ways of this world. Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 35 and verse 10. And the Most High said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called Jacob, Salaki. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel.
But what?
But Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations.
A what?
A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee. And the king shall come out of thy loins.
And a what?
And a king shall come out of thy loins.
See, and that was Yahweh with the word ignorantly known as Jesus. Came out of the line of Judah, man.
And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land.
So that's where we're gonna get the land back, man. But in order for us to get the land back, we got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments as a nation. See, because the Most High don't deal with individuals. The Most High only deals with nations. And the nation of Israel is the only nation that the Most High loves, man. He's not dealing with everybody, man. Can you give me the book of Deuteronomy? So we're going to give you one more precept, and then we're going to give it over to the next mighty speaker, man. But we want our people, man, to know that the Most High loves you, man.
That's right.
Repent and come back to the Most High, man. The Most High, Yahweh, your power. Go ahead, bring that out, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 33.
Bring it out.
Did ever people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of the fire, and thou hast heard and lived? Or has God The book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 33.
Go ahead.
Did ever people hear the voice of the Most High speaking out of the midst of the fire, and thou hast heard and lived? Or has God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation by temptation, by signs, and by wonders, and by will, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes?
See, the Most High did that for us, man. The Most High loves you that much, man. And that's why he gave you a law, statute, and commandment, Israel, so that you would be a nation greater than any nation, man. So come back to the law, repent, come back to the law, statute, and commandments. I'm going to turn it over to the next mighty speaker. Kom Yasharala.
Kom Yasharala.
Kom Yasharala.
Kom Yasharala.
Kom Yasharala.
Kom Yasharala.
And death to the world.
Death to America.